Did Section 230 ever come up for you back in the Weblogs days?
What came up more in those days was fair use and content. People were kind of stuck on copyright more than, who's responsible as a publisher. And people would say like, oh, you wrote a summary of that story, therefore you're stealing it. And I was like, do you understand fair use? Like if I comment on if Engadget comments on Walt Mossberg's review, the Wall Street Journal was kind of starting to feel like Engadget was stealing it. And then the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, in reaction to Gawker or Engadget or whichever blog it was, wouldn't link back. And so we got into these holy wars just about the link back. And they refused to mention our name and they refused to link back. And I would, as the publisher, because Peter was writing it, I would ride them so hard on Twitter, on Facebook, on my blog. Here are 5 examples of this journalist, and this journalist taking our story and refusing to link to it. Here are the 5 examples of us linking to them today. And then we started saying, you know what? We're just going to stop linking to you. And then that's because when we started to get more traffic and became a traffic bait, then people started to give each other credit. But I was the bulldog in that they would send me out to just attack every journalist by name. This journalist at the New York Times refuses to link to Engadget. And here they are. And I would just study them like a hawk. Here's the last 5 stories. These 4 originated from blog posts and they credited no blogs. And people would be very embarrassed. And then I would email it to, Martin Eselholtz or whoever at the New York Times. And I'd be like, I'm going to keep calling you guys out. You look really stupid. And then they finally were like, oh God, enough of this maniac.
Well, then there was the era for a while where like they did actually credit people, but they wouldn't link to them, and that was just stupid. It was like, okay, you're acknowledging that they got the scoop, but like here you are trying not to like let traffic leave your website, and it feels like we're kind of past that now. If someone's reporting on someone else's scoop, they'll link to the article, but that felt like the broken adolescent years.
It was even more insincere than that. It wasn't even about the traffic. You know what it was really about for them?
Ego in some capacity, I'm sure.
No, it was even beyond traffic and ego. It was about SEO. They literally did not want the SEO of these new blogs, because SEO was how you drove traffic prior to social.
Yep.
So they desperately did not want the New York Times to link to Engadget with the anchor text.
Because they knew they
iPhone.
had domain authority.
They had the domain authority over us. And so whether it was the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, or any other, New York Post, Daily News, whoever, they were under strict orders. Then we would watch them and they would put no follow tags on us. So they'd link to us, and some of them would put no follow, which means you're linking to it, but you're telling the search engines, do not give credit to this. And New York Times had like a page rank of 10 and we had a page rank of 2. And so it was always really like a really gnarly kind of debate.